Good morning class, myself Dr. Ashwini Katole. I am assistant professor as you know, and I am from community medicine department. As of now we discuss related food, everything about food component, food calories related, nutritional value related, everything. We'll discuss food fortification, food additives and food adulteration. It is not like that whatever food we are taking that is all having same nutrition. Because of modernization and civilization and growing infrastructure that deteriorate food quality wise and quantity wise also. So we will discuss it in food adulteration and in food additives. So whatever food we are taking, how much quality, what is the quality of that food, we can analyze after that, and how much what type of food we should take, that you will get to know after this topic. First of all, we will start food fortification. It is of course for fortification is for better life, because in food so many components are lacking because of pollution, because of fertilization, because of soil condition. Soil condition is not that much better nowadays because of all pollutants, all plastic related issues, because of all factories and environmental pollution. So so many endemic diseases are there, so we want to reduce that disease for in some endemic areas, and to reduce the prevalence of certain disease like iodine deficiency disorder, like anemia, like vitamin A. We used to fortify some content of food, so it will provide the better nutrition to the general population. Now in fortification of food, fortification is the process where the nutrients are added to maintain or empower the quality of food. Enrichment is restoration of nutrient value of the food to its normal level. Whatever amount, fortification means addition of certain amount of food, certain component of food in so that whatever normal level is present in the food, that is not up to the mark, so we enrich that food with extra amount of additives. So it is called as fortification. Examples of fortification is vitamin A or vitamin D addition, usually added in oil or vanaspati ghee. Vitamin A usually 2500 international unit, and vitamin D 175 international unit per 100 gram usually they add. It is at consumer level. Production level is at in the factories, or they used to add all these component in extra amount, so that some quality of this all nutrients or vitamin that deteriorate during time period, and when it comes to the consumer, the minimum amount should present this much. Like vitamin A 2500 international unit should present, vitamin D 175 international unit should present. If we add iodine, that 30 ppm salt, iodine we used to add in a salt, 15 ppm should be present at the consumer level. That maximum and minimum level is already decided by the certain authorities, so they have to add as per that. It's not like that. Fortification means whatever you want amount you will add in the food. There is certain amount that only you will add, so that if person is normal, that toxicity should not happen to the normal person, and whatever deficiency is present in the people or in the patient, that should be complement, or that should be adequate for the patient. So that is the principle of fortification. Likewise, addition of potassium or sodium to the common salt to prevent endemic goiter, or as well as iodine also. Addition of ferrous salt in the common salt to prevent nutritional anemia. Ferric acid or ferrous salt we add to reduce the prevalence of anemia, nutritional anemia especially. Addition of vitamin A and vitamin D to milk also. Addition of lysine to wheat flour while making bread. So that these are all the component we add. It's as an example for the fortification. The trials with fortified salt have shown encouragement result. Initially, endemic goiter is so much prevalent. Nowadays also it is prevalent. Thyroid problem is very much common in Himalayan belt and in this Chhattisgarh also, some part of Maharashtra, MP, Rajasthan, everywhere, Karnataka, Odisha. Belts are there because of hilly region. So government has decided, or NIN Hyderabad has decided कि we will do some experiment trials with the salt or vitamin in the nutrition, that food which salt, sugar, that is consumed by everyone. So they try to add fortified with, and result they got excellent result. So continuation of this fortification has continued. That another innovative approach is to double fortification of salt, which means fortification with iron as well as iodine. Ferrous sulfates they add 1000 ppm, and potassium iodide they added 40 ppm in the salt. Then acceptability of this salt among the consumer was satisfactory, and result was very excellent. So after that they tried to wheat flour as a successful fortified in the European and North American countries. Means initially in a developed country they tried this fortification of food. After that, and Hyderabad and other part of India they try fortification of food, and government has tried to make one policy. And after that, this fortification of salt is we are seeing fortification of salt all over India. Now how this food supplement food fortification that decided, I mean this amount of this food we have to fortified, and this nutrient we have to fortified in this food. So first of all we have to do public health measures. We have to measure all the things. We have to take initial data, what supplementation is needed in the certain area, and in what kind of food we can add that. So public health measures we have to take, incidence and prevalence of certain common diseases we have to take. After that we can decide which food, which nutrient we can fortify, we can add. Additional supplementation of nutrition, that is what we will do. And prevalence of nutritional problems, specifically nutritional problem we will take. All this process will done in certain area, or after that trials will go, and this process whereby nutrients are added to the food to maintain, improve the quality of diet of the group and community of the population. This method we use for the fortification of food. And after many trials, India has launched fluoridation of water. They add fluoride in the water, iodization of salt, iodine in the salt, and other food supplement they added in vanaspati like vitamins and vitamin A and vitamin D, and vitamin E also in milk and vanaspati, because all these are fat soluble, and vanaspati ghee and milk are the better substance which is consumed by all the people. So they chose this vanaspati ghee and milk for the program. Criteria for fortification. The vehicle fortified consumed as regular daily diet. Whatever vehicle we are going to use, that should be regularly used by people. Then amount of nutrient added, that should be effective for low consumer of vehicle, and no hazard should be for the excess people who are taking it in excess. This criteria should maintain, and whatever prevalence, whatever disease is present in certain geographic area, that should be, that we can treat that disease with the form of this fortification. These are two criteria. Third one is there should be no change in taste, smell, appearance and consistency of vehicle. Whatever food ingredient we are choosing for the fortification, that should not change its taste, smell, appearance and consistency. The cost of food shouldn't raise after the fortification. That minimum amount of whatever cost is there, that shouldn't be raised, so that in India like country where most of the people are below poverty level or at the poverty level, so the most of the people are taking whatever common food is there, the cost should be minimum. An adequate system of surveillance and control we can do, like if we add salt, fortified salt, it is we can test urine, 24-hour urine estimation. That is the easiest method for the surveillance of certain group of people, that is cheap also and feasible also. So we have to take that kind of surveillance system, that it should be that can be easily manageable, and it should give long term measure. It's not like in a 1 year we will fortify this food and the second year we will try to fortify some other food. So long term measures we have to choose, and all these criteria, whatever ingredient is going to fulfill, that only be chosen for the food fortification. Likewise, up till now, so many food factors we have decided to fortify, but in that most popular is salt, milk and vanaspati ghee, and some oils also. So that is all about food fortification. Some laws also there, in which all these 4 or 5 criteria that should be fulfilled, that construct of that law is here, and if somebody is breaking this law, some kind of punishments are also there. If if production level some false thing is going on, then 6-month imprisonment is also there, and 1 lakh, up to 1 lakh punishment is also there. So this is very serious issue. So at the production level, they have to follow certain guidelines, whatever protocol is given to them by government. So that's all about food fortification. Now coming to the food additives. Food additives means it's a non-nutritious substance added intentionally to the food in a small quantity to improve its appearance, flavor, texture, storage property. It's not at all related to food additives. It's not at all related to nutritional value. It is just a substance, like coloring of this, as we can see in chocolates, coloring of chocolate, so that it will make more attractive to children. That kind of additives is added in the food substance, so that it improves its appearance, flavor, texture, storage property. So this is the definition of food additives. Food additives is mostly used to preserve foods, to increase its shelf life, to improve taste, to exchange texture or color. It's not at all related to nutritional value. If we want to make food more attractive, then food additives added in that. Means if you want to increase its taste, increase its texture, to increase its shelf life, people used to add food additives. In first category coloring, flavoring, preservative and sweeteners we used to add in food product, but sometimes it is harmful also, and so we have to choose whatever food additives we are using, we have to choose very cautiously. For coloring, saffron and turmeric are healthier one option for coloring the food substance. Vanilla essence is very common for flavoring agent. For preservatives, sorbic acid and sodium benzonate is the most commonly used preservative in the chips, also in packet food. So much quantities they are using, and nitrate substance also they are using to increase its shelf life. And sweeteners are saccharine, they are using, but some studies are there, whatever artificial sweeteners are present in the market, some are carcinogenic. So if we are choosing some sweeteners which is not natural, which is artificial, then we have to be very cautious, because if you are taking daily for a longer period, it can cause carcinogenic effect in some people. Second category is packing, processing and farming. And for packing, likewise we can see in a chips packing is very big and air is there, so they use some gas form to make to show the bigger food substance also, and that nitrate gas or whatever preservatives are present there, that is also harmful also. It is comes in a second category. As we discussed, nitrate, mostly in packed food they use lots of nitrate, so we have to avoid packed food. It can cause cancer, it can cause genetic mutation if we are taking in more amount. In a cola, coke like substance also, these preservatives are present in a higher quantity with zero nutrition and lots of calorie, which is not required in diet. So all this substance, whatever junk food we are calling, that all our extras are present in that, so we have to be very cautious about choosing this artificial sweeteners or artificial junk food also with artificial flavoring and coloring. There is one act, Food Regulation Act is there by Government of India. It established in 1954, in which they give certain permit to the they give permit to certain company, in which whatever amount of coloring or preservatives are there, they have to be used in very conscious amount, and certain they already decides amount for preservatives, additives to them. If they are, if and regular testing is also going on for that food. Food inspector goes to the factories also, and they used to check everything ki how much quantity they are adding in the food which is permissible or not. If they are found guilty, then there is certain there can be fine also or imprisonment also. So this is protection of health for the consumer. This act is started in the India. This picture is showing that food additive reaction in certain people. Food additive reaction is in different form, like swelling, redness, itching, boils and pustule all over India. So if you are taking certain kind of food and immediately some reaction like vomiting, nausea, dizziness, irritability kind of thing also occur because of food additives. Now coming to the food adulteration. Food adulteration involves large number of practice in India also and in world also. To get maximum benefit whatever they are farming, whatever they are doing in their factories, to take maximum profit from that. Food adulteration started. It is not recent practice. From ancient time this practice is going on, but we will see some example what kind of adulteration they can do. Some adulteration is not that much harmful, but some adulteration are harmful. The mixing, they can ignorance or remove some substance or concealing of some quality of some substance, they can be happen. And to increase the production level and to get the maximum profit, all these practice certain people do. Likewise in milk, water is a usual practice. In milk, water, doodh wala add water in that. It is but a safer practice, but in certain factories they can add paper pulp also or starch also. This is very harmful for our body. In ghee or vanaspati ghee, they can add pig fat or tributylene. So this is very harmful. If we test vanaspati ghee, we can detect easily in public health lab. They can easily detect what kind of adulteration is going on in that factory. Mostly cereals, stones and sand they used to add, people used to add, and flour, talc or chalk powder mostly they used to add. Means whatever wheat flour or whatever flour we are taking, it's not like that. We have to check first what ingredients are present in that pack, and after that we have to decide ki what pack should we have to take. Now we have to be ensure that whatever pack food we are taking, that should be coming from with proper guideline or proper nutritional value should be present there, with expiry date should be present there, production date and expiry date should be there. We have to change, this is the minimum requirement to take any kind of packed food. So we have to take consciously all these food product. Then Bengal gram, mostly they adulterate with kesri dal, and kesri dal is having very much side effect, as we all seen in food intoxication. Then edible oil, they mix mineral oil in that. In tea, they used to mix there. They used to mix in certain levels so that it cannot normal people cannot detect that. And in coffee powder, so many seeds powder are there. The brown seeds are usually brown, so they add in a coffee powder. Then prevention and control of food adulteration. There is certain food standards are there. The various food standards have been prescribed in India. The common ones are standard under Prevention of Food Adulteration Act, which is established in 1976. The EGMARK standard prescribed by Directorate of Marketing and Inspector, and ISI standard of these three standards mentioned by PFA standards are solitary, and there is legal backing to it. After all this food related issue, Indian government has started Prevention of Food Adulteration Act, which is established in 1976, in which most authentic one standard they have established, that is ISI standard and EGMARK standard. So we have to check what ISI mark or EGMARK should be there whatever food item we are taking. Legal measures in Prevention of Food Adulteration Act in India provide the strength measure against the food adulteration. Similarly, the Model Public Health Act provide for the standard of all the animal house are present there. There is a protocol from for them also, means Public Health Act for them also, and for other vegetarian, non-vegetarian product act is present, and specifies everything specifically mentioned in that act. And if someone found guilty, then severe punishment for food adulteration is also there. test for adulterants in which various in adulteration in public health lab various tests are there. In that criteria, the whatever food is coming to test in that laboratory, they will test in physical chemical method, so that if some adulterant are not seen by physical method, they can detect it by chemical method. In physical method, argemon seeds are black color, but they are not uniformly smooth or round. So argemon seed mostly adulterate with some other substance also. Kesari dal is wedge shape. Mostly it is added with adulterate with kesari dal. So argemon seeds are smooth and not uniformly smooth and rounded one. Kesari dal is triangular one, and smaller one is like masoor dal. So all these seeds, they if physical appearance is some kind of same, then at production level they used to add to they adulterate all this dal. Argot seeds are lighter than bajra and float in the water. Then we can detect it by if we add bajra, argot seeds in water and bajra in the water, argot seeds will float. This kind of method they will use for physical testing. Adulterant like salt, gravel, peppers, and can be preserved and removed physically. Coal tar dye used to adulterate kind of adulteration is also there. They use coal tar also for adulteration. In biochemical methods or chemical methods, metanyl yellow they used to add in haldi powder. It is 2 gram of sample is added to 5 ml of alcohol and shake it. Few drops of concentration HCl are added. Then pink color it detect, and that is it is adulterated. That haldi powder is adulterated with some substance. This is the method in which we can detect adulteration for turmeric powder. If starch is added in milk and butter, it can be presence is detected by adding iodine to the sample. Formation of blue color indicates adulteration of salt. If milk turns blue, then starch is added. This is a very simple method. We can do it in our regular practice also. Whatever milk is coming to your home, you can add iodine in that, and if it turns blue, then it is simply adulterate with starch. Adulteration of coffee with starch can be detected by decoloration with the potassium permanganate and addition of iodine later. This is also simple method. We can do it at home, and if bluish coloration indicates adulteration is there. Same with argemon oil. 5 ml of whatever sample oil is there, we will add 5 ml nitric acid in that, and after 3 minutes red color if appear, then presence of adulteration in argemon oil, it can detect that. Artificial colors to chili also we can detect by rubbing chilies with a piece of cotton soaked in liquid paraffin. Cotton become red with the artificial color. If artificial color is present over the chilies, then it will get red, it loosen its color. So this is also simple test that we can do at our home. Now adulteration is not only a consumer's problem. Sometimes some adulteration can show very harmful effect to other people also, like carcinogenic effect and health problem also they can show. The age-old problem, this problem is coming because of to increase the whatever uh, production is there. They have, they want to take more money from that production. So this mixing, concealing, misbranding, and decomposed food, giving decomposed food to the consumers, false labeling. If authentic food is there, the production is very high, then sub branches are open because after that, and they give false labeling. They sell food in name of that, famous brand, and it can cause toxicity to it. It can give very hazardous effect to the normal people also. There's so many disadvantage also. We have to pay for more cost for the low grade food also, and it is very injurious to health. This always we have seen. This is the act, Food Adulteration Act, that it passed in Indian government in 1954, where pure and wholesome food should be there. It should protect from fraudulent and defective trades and practice. If someone found guilty, then 6 months imprisonment and 1,000 fine they have to pay for that, if someone found guilty. And if grievous hurt occur because of food adulteration, then life imprisonment and fine up to 5,000 to 1 lakh they have to pay for that. This is all about the act. Then food standard, there are certain food standards by Indian government they have given, that is Codex, AGMARKS, ISI, that is Bureau of Indian Standards. All this we have to check. All these standards are should be present on the food. After that only we can purchase that food, because if this mark is present, that means all the precautions and protocol they are following. Means we can say that all the protocols they are following. It's not necessary. Some fraud companies also there, they can use this marks, and they can sell all the food products on their marks. So but for these standards in India, ISA and AGMARKS are mostly used for the food items. So this is all about food fortification, food additives, and food adulteration. Thank you. In next topic we will discuss some other next day we will discuss some other topic.